Okay, welcome to my class of science, particularly chemistry. Okay, so with me, your teacher, Mr. A Plus, have come with this topic called chemical formula and equation. So to start with, we are going to look at chemical formula. Okay, elements combine chemically to form a compound. So elements, when they combine chemically, they form a what? A compound. So a set of chemical symbols present in a compound can be represented by a chemical formula. So that's why chemical formula is very, very important, because it also represents the symbols that are present in the compound. Okay, that is chemical symbols. Then point 3, a chemical formula shows the type and number of atoms present in a compound. Okay, so it is the chemical formula that shows that. Very, very important. Then they are saying, for instance, when oxygen and hydrogen react, water, a compound is formed. Okay, so when these two elements react, they actually form a compound called water. Okay, now the chemical formula for water is H2O, shows the type and the number of atoms present in water molecule. So that's the importance of chemical formula. Now, let us look at how you can write a chemical formula. This is a crucial topic in chemistry that you should understand very well for you to pass Science Paper 2 with flying colors. So how to write a chemical formula? How can you write? Point 1, write down the name of the compound. For example, water, because you have gotten water as an example there. It is there. So first of all, you are supposed to write the name of the compound. For example, you write water. Then 2, write down the chemical symbol of each element in that particular compound. In this case, we have water. So you have to write now the what? The symbol of each element that are involved in the same compound. For example, for water, we have two elements that are involved, hydrogen and oxygen. So what you do, you just write the chemical formula. The one that appears on the periodic table, like for hydrogen, we have H. Then oxygen, we have O. That is the one. So these are some of the steps you are supposed to take when writing the chemical formula. Then 3, write the valence of each element on top. So what is the valence? Because here they are saying we have to write the valence. So valence, this is just the atoms, okay, or protons actually, or, that are found, or electrons that are found in the outermost shell of those shell energy, because each element has got their shell energy. So now the last shell, the electron that are going to found in that last shell is the one which they call valence. Okay, so for example, hydrogen, we know that the atomic number for hydrogen is just 1, and it only has one electron shell, one electron what? Shell. So it will just be 1. Then there is an element there. There is an atom there, which is, electrons, which is 1. So you write that one. Okay? Then you go to oxygen. Oxygen in the outermost shell, oxygen, remember, is found in group 6. And therefore, the electrons in its outermost shell are 6. There are 6 electrons there. So now, for it to be stable, meaning it has to rob 2 electrons. So that 2 is the one that you are going to write as the valence. So the valence for electrons, for oxygen, is 2. So you are going to write 2 this side. Then you also write this side 2, or 1. So 2 for oxygen, 1 for hydrogen. Then use the groups of the periodic table to find the valence number. So now, for you to find the valence number, you have to use the periodic table, because on the periodic table, all elements, they are represented by atomic numbers, then mass number. So it will be very easy for you to know the valence. Okay, so no wonder why here there is an emphasis to say you should use the periodic table. Then for cross over the valence number of elements in step 3. Those valence that we have in step 3, you have to cross them over. Okay. Now what happens after crossing them over? For example, we have H with the valence 1, then oxygen also 2 valence, then you cross, meaning these two will come here, then one will go there. Okay, and this will become what? H2O. This 2 is for oxygen, and this one, which is invisible here, is for hydrogen. And by so doing, you have written the what? The chemical formula of that compound. Then 5, reduce the number if necessary. For example, if we had 2, even here 2, we are going to reduce, because that 2 is a common number, and it was going to be HO. Because when you reduce 2 into 2, it will remain 1. Even this side, 2 into 2, 1. This is what it means on step 5. Reduce the number if necessary. So now, we are going to look at the following examples. Write the chemical formula of the following. A, aluminium chloride. Then B, magnesium oxide. Remember, when writing the chemical formula, we should use the what? The periodic table. So that is the one we are going to use. So looking at the space, we are going to rub this side. That is where we are going to write now the chemical formula of the given compounds. Okay. So let me rub here. Okay, so now from there, we can now even get the periodic table. So this is the periodic table which they are talking about. Okay, so periodic table is going to help us to write the chemical formula. So we can start. Aluminium chloride. Aluminium is in group what? Let us see. Aluminium. Okay. So aluminium is in group supposed to be in group 3. Aluminium 1, 2, 3 is there. Okay, so aluminium is in group 3. Okay, so the atomic number is what? Is 13. So the atomic number is 13. Now, how are we going to know the valence of aluminium? We are going to say the first shell contains how many electrons? 2. Second shell, there are 13, remember? Second shell contains 8 electrons. Okay? Then 8 plus 2, that is 10. Then the last shell contains what? 3. So meaning for aluminium, since the chemical name for aluminium, first of all, we need to write aluminium according to the steps. Then from there, you write aluminium. That is now chemical name, aluminium, like the way it is appearing on the periodic table. After you have written, then you identify the valence. Okay, so valence, how many? 3. So you write 3 on top. Okay, then the other element involved, aluminium chloride, is chlorine. Chlorine is in group what? Chlorine is in group, when we check properly for chlorine, is in group 7. Okay, chlorine group 7. And it has the atomic number of 17. Okay, that is chlorine. So the first thing, we write chlorine. Chlorine, we write chlorine, that is, yes. Then the chemical for chlorine, the chemical name is Cl, that is chlorine. Then let us identify now, let us see the valence of chlorine. We are saying 17. So the first shell, as usual, just 2. Let me write it here for chlorine. This is for aluminium. Then chlorine. First shell, 2 electrons. Second shell, 8 electrons. Third shell, how many electrons? Because 2 plus 8, we are going to have 10. So we are remaining with 7. So now 7 electrons. It means chlorine should drop 1 electron for it to be what? For it to be stable. So that one is the valence. Okay. So the valence for chlorine is what? 1. Okay. Then from there, you are going to say aluminium 3. Then we have chlorine 1. Then let's cross now the what? The electrons. So this one will come to aluminium. So aluminium L. We can't indicate there because it is shown that there is 1 there. Okay. Then chlorine 3 will come down there. We have crossed. Drop this one, bring it here. This one will come here. And therefore, this is the chemical formula for aluminum chloride. So this is how we write them. Then we go to magnesium oxide. Magnesium also, we go to the periodic table so that we can know the what? We know the valence. Because you cannot write the chemical formula minus knowing the valences. So for magnesium, okay, magnesium chemical formula, we can write it, it's okay. Then for oxygen oxide, we have that one. Okay. So oxygen is found in group 6. So meaning it has 2 valence. So we are going to write 2 there. Indicate it here. Then magnesium is found in group what? In group 2. That is magnesium. So it has how many? 2 also. Okay. Because 2, 10. So 2. In its outermost shell, there is 2. So for this one, we can just cross the valences. Then we are going to have 2, then or 2. Now remember this. There is a number that can go into both. So we are going to use 2 itself. So 2 into 2 here, we are going to have. Then 2 into there, we are just going to have. Therefore, this is the chemical formula for magnesium oxide. So this is how we write chemical formulas. Simple as that. Thank you so very much for paying attention. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Pedagogy Learning, as well as follow me on my Facebook page, Mr. A+, Instagram, Mr. A+, as well as TikTok, Mr. A+. Once you get there, you are going to have better knowledge, which will actually lead you to success. Thank you.